God, I love that thing. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Artists on Lockdown, Hangin and Bangin. I'm your host, Ronald Esty, here in rock and roll heaven, just outside of Chicago at the Arcada Theater in St. Charles, Illinois. And I'm so excited tonight because, you know, every week I'm on this broadcast with two major drum punks. I mean, guys who are like badass. But this week, we're talking about two legendary members of the punk scene, Clem Burke and Marky Ramone. So before we get to them, let me bring my big brother, a mentor, an icon, a legend in all of our minds, Vinny. Oh, no, Vinny's not going to be here. Carmine of Peace. I get excited because
that's pretty funny, dude. You're so used to saying Vinny first. Uh-oh, you froze, Ron. Why are you frozen? Hello? Well, hi, guys. I'm glad everything's going so far. You know, it's always the same thing. We go on before the show and everything's good. And as soon as we press the record button, something happens to Ron. He freezes or something. So anyway, let's bring our buddies on while Ron's frozen over there. Okay, Ben, let's bring on Marky Ramone and Clem Burke.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
And look at he was frozen there. So how you guys doing, man?
All right.
Doing good.
So,
doing good. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So Clem, you're recording, and what are you doing, Mark? Are you just hanging?
I'm just hanging here talking to you.
Yeah. What are those paintings behind you?
Oh, that's the stuff I did during COVID.
Oh, you paint? Oh, nice. I do some painting too. Yeah, mine are all made up of drums. Everything's made of drums.
Yeah, I can do on drum heads too. But, you know, it's the radio show, and I'm gonna wait for this COVID thing to die down and then start doing stuff again.
Yeah,
I don't want to get sick.
Yeah, I know. We started doing stuff. I know when you came to see us, you had the mask on and everything.
Had to.
But it's good though. It was like, you know, nobody knew who you were.
You know, I got my third shot, so I'm happy.
Yeah, me too.
You know.
Yeah, it's really strange walking into a bank with a mask on these days, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
down here in Florida, it's been open all the time, and it's like that. Don't give me that Mickey Mouse stuff there, Clem.
Speaking of which, what about the?
I'm saying the Mickey Mouse cup.
Yeah. What about Disney with Let It Be? Right? Amazing, huh?
Great.
You guys watch it?
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Who wants to sit around and watch a bunch of guys in a band bullshit for 7 hours, right? But it is the Beatles, though.
You kicked ass.
It is the Beatles. It is the Beatles.
Yeah.
And here's Ron again. Oh, there you go, Ron.
Hey.
I'd like to introduce my little brother, Ron Onesti. And he froze again. Ah, come on.
I don't know what's happening here, guys. There's like an internet thing going on right now. Who knows? An internet war. But it's so good to see you guys. Welcome to the show.
Well, we got to go in here. We're talking about Marky's paintings and Marky getting out there to play. He hasn't done it yet, but when he came to see us in Vanilla Fudge, he had the mask on. You know,
that's right.
It's a good way to be incognito today.
Well, it's a good way. It's a good way to prevent other people from getting sick.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
I care about the fans and kids come to the show. And it's not bullshit. It's real.
Yeah, it's real. I just got my third the other week. I got my booster. Yeah,
me too.
Yeah.
Did anybody get sick? I didn't get sick at all. I didn't got nothing. Did you get any reaction?
I had a little sore on my arm.
That's about it. Yeah. You too, Clem?
Well,
I was fine. Was fine with
that. What about you, Ron?
No, I'm good, on my side. But you know what? As being on my side of the world, what I'm feeling is that there's bands that are rescheduling and that kind of thing, but then there's bands canceling because half the band wants to take the vaccination and the other band won't. So they're fighting and they're canceling gigs. It's a weird.
Yeah, we had to do that with Vanilla Fudge. Our guitar player wasn't going to get it, and I said, "Look, dude, you got to get it. We're going to be riding in a Sprinter van. You got to get it." And everybody else has got it. And if you get sick, then you can still give it to us. It might not be bad, but so he went and got it. Same thing with our tour manager.
Matt is things out. I don't know. It's what's it called? Oculon. Sounds like a science fiction movie.
Yeah, but they say it's not that bad. They don't know really much about it. But
I hope not.
They said the vaccine don't work for it, but I don't know. I don't watch the news anymore. Too much crazy stuff, man. You know, the kid shooting up a high school, another guy running over people in a parade. God, what's wrong with these
That's
people?
wild. That was wild.
Crazy people, man.
Yeah, 15.
Well, we hope the music brings everybody back. And I tell you, that's what we're finding out. The music is starting to bring people back, trying to bring back the positive nature of everything because it was such a down thing.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, I'm actually doing a gig in the Catskills, funny enough, on Saturday.
Really?
A place called Club Avalon. Yeah. We're doing a gig up there. The band that I'm working with here called the Split Squad, we actually had about 3 gigs lined up while we were recording, but they were canceled. But this one is a go, so we're going to go and do it.
Good.
Yeah, I just did 12 gigs with I did 3 with my brother and 9 with Vanilla Fudge. And Marky came to 2 of them. And it was great. We had a great time.
Great.
We kicked ass. And Joe Bonamassa jammed with us, as we know. And then the next night we jammed with Robbie Krieger's band. Yeah. And it was really a great time. And I got home. And then this weekend we're doing my big 75th birthday bash.
Oh, wow.
In Palm Beach.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's really, really wild. And I know like Pat Travis is coming and my buddy Artie is going to play with the funk band. That plays with me with Artie plays with drum wars. We've got a funk band with horns. I'm going to play with him, and unfortunately, the drummer's left-handed.
Oh, man.
I got to switch the drums around, so I'm going to play just one song at the end.
Yeah, we
used to ever try playing left-handed?
Yeah, forget it. I mean, I can play left-handed, but the bass drum don't work good with the left foot.
Yeah,
that's the tough thing.
Yeah, when we used to play with the Heartbreakers, opening for the Heartbreakers with Blondie, I'd have to switch. I'd use Jerry Nolan's drums. You have to switch them around because Jerry was famously left-handed.
Well, he was left-handed.
He was left-handed. Yeah, that's in that. That's the one thing that got wrong in that vinyl thing on HBO. The drummer was right-handed. They had the pink drums. He had the pink drums. Right, but he was playing right-handed, not left-handed.
Oh, that's not right.
Yeah,
there you go.
My drum teacher was left-handed.
The little things, you know, the little things. Oh, your drum teacher was left-handed?
Yeah, he was left-handed.
But he played right-handed, probably.
No, he played left-handed. But all the books were written where it starts with the right hand.
Of course,
he's right in red. He reversed it so he can.
That's
some
interesting.
People lead with their left.
Yeah.
Well,
the left-handed drummer will lead with his left mostly because the right-handed drummer leads with his right.
Right. Yeah. Or you could have the ambidextrous thing going like a Billy Cobham or somebody like that.
Wow, that's freaky to watch. That's really freaky.
I know.
It's like watching an octopus drum.
Your whole thing.
Right. Yeah.
But I had a drum school at that time, and I was in Long Island. I was teaching the students to go righty and then lefty.
Sure.
Because I saw Billy.
Well, the more ambidextrous you are, the better you are on the drums, for sure.
Yeah.
Hold the stick this way, hold the stick that way.
Yeah.
It's funny. When I play traditional grip, I lead with my right, because I am left-handed, but I play the drums right-handed.
Really? Wow.
Really?
But when I play traditional, which is how I learned, I immediately lead with my right. That's because my drum instructor never really said to me, hey, you're leading with your left, because I don't think I ever really did until I started playing match grip. It's weird. Traditional grip.
So you lead with your left hand with match grip?
More times than not, yeah. But when I play traditional, I always lead with the right.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Military drumming, military stuff.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah. I stopped playing traditional back in 1973, because every time I did a solo, I had to go traditional. And I played the rest of the night powerful match. And I said, I got to learn this way. So when I was teaching all these kids at the studio, 72, 73, I would go through the books, match grip.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's my brother Vinny calling. So
look at this. Yeah, answer. Let's see what he's got to say.
Hey, Vinny, what are you doing? He can't find the link. So, Ben, send Vinny a link. He can't get on.
That's hysterical.
Okay, cool.
That's
ironic.
Funny.
Huh?
Right.
Kind of
it really is.
I was wondering why he's not there because he's home. I talked to him before. I talked to him last night when I couldn't get my computer to work. He's my computer tech. He built the system here.
Okay.
You gotta have somebody around like that.
In the house, I
Oh.
love it. I got the drums
Yeah.
set up. Look at this. I got these. You see these bass drums? It's I can't really see it. 1971 Cactus Ludwig bass drums. They're maple and they're 24 by 15.
Wow.
Right?
man.
All
Nice.
sides, and they sound so
Yes.
good. And then I got the Slingerland pink leopard snare drum there. Look at this.
Wow, look at that.
Pink
Look at
leopard snare
that.
drum.
Nice.
And then the rest of the kit's D drum. But the kit sounds great. And I really learned to engineer myself. You know,
that's what I've been doing is playing the files all during the pandemic. I did.
Yeah, are you engineering? Are you engineering?
I'm not engineering, but I'm playing the files all the time. And
yesterday, I learned finally how to punch in and out.
Sure.
Right,
yeah.
without punch in and out automatically. So I was like, before I was playing the thing, and I hit a cymbal, I pressed the record button, and half the time it coming out crappy. Last night I learned how to do it, and man, I did this track for King Kobe yesterday, and it's killing. It's so much easier.
It's not rocket surgery, is it? You know.
No, it isn't. And especially YouTube has everything. So I went on YouTube and I said,
everything.
I punched in and out on Cubase, and it showed me. Stupid! It's so easy. I can't believe I've been doing this for a year and I haven't done it.
Take the time.
Yeah, unbelievable. I said I'm going to do this because I want to play better on these.
Yeah, have a 14-year-old next to you.
Yeah, it's all good.
I've been doing a lot of stuff to files all through the pandemic. I just did a thing with Ann Margaret and Mickey Jill. Believe it or not.
I'm going to play on Susie Quattro's album.
That'll be great. You're perfect for that.
That'll be fun.
Great. Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Well, Clem, you actually, I guess you actually played with Nancy Sinatra.
I did. Yeah, I did for quite some time, about over 10 years, with my great friend Don Randy from the Wrecking Crew. Was our
When was that?
Well, that was, when was that? That was like throughout the, maybe from the middle 90s into the early.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we did. We did the. Mark, were you at that little Steven thing on Randall's Island back when everybody played? When the hurricane kicked in.
I might have been on tour, and I don't think so. No.
Yeah, we did this big festival on Randall's Island with Nancy, but we also a couple of European tours, and it was funny. It was funny because one time I ran into Keltner, and he goes, "Hey," I heard you replaced Hal in Nancy's band.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but what year is it? Maybe if it was 1967 and I replaced Hal, it might have been a little more. You know, I mean, no offense to Hal. Hal was great.
But it's funny because I put on these Italian festivals. I put on my Italian festivals.
You should get Maniskin.
I would hire. I know I'm going to be. Believe me, I'm working on that right now. But I would put on these Italian festivals, and I'd hire Nancy Sinatra, and all these old blue hairs would be expecting her doing "My Way" and "Ain't That a Kick in the Head" in Chicago. She'd come out, and the band be freaking rocking and staring the whole front row on the floor.
We did a couple of shows with Frank Jr. and Nancy. Right? We did that casino in Connecticut. What's it? Mohegan Sun.
Mohegan Sun. That's famous.
First thing he says. Hi, I'm Frank. Why does it have to be so fucking loud? You know?
There you go.
You know, because of the rock versus
used to acoustic instruments.
And we went on we did a thing of all places fucking me. We did this thing in I can't think of the city now. It's crazy. It was a Frank Sinatra day in Budapest. We went to Budapest. Went to Budapest. This guy had this big, giant warehouse, this trucking company that we're going to have a new warehouse. But before they put the stuff in the warehouse, they're going to have a Sinatra day. So Frank Jr.'s band and Nancy's band, we went to Budapest and played, at this whole thing, the president of the Ukraine. It was crazy. But the best thing with Nancy, you go to the hotel, I'm with the Sinatra party.
That's all you gotta say.
say.
That's a trophy right there. That's a trophy.
All you gotta say.
Definitely.
Yeah, she's a great.
So did you have to hold back? Did you have to hold back and play lighter?
Well, it all depends, And then we were doing that, that Drummer Man song. You guys know that, but the house song that she does.
Drummer Man.
We would do that, and And she has all of Hal's charts with the stamp, Hal Blaine Strikes Again. Well, she has all the charts for all her songs, for her whole thing.
You had to read them?
Well, I tried. But, you know.
Are you a good reader?
Not really. Don Randy told me I have elephant ears. Yeah. You know, I pick up, I sure guys do the same thing.
I'm a better writer of books and stuff than I am a reader. You know?
Yeah, but you know, you got the ears. How long have we been doing this?
Reading's a whole nother language.
Right.
Earl Palmer was the best at reading. Earl Palmer.
Oh, yeah. He's on the cover. I believe he's on the cover of Modern Drummer this issue.
Is he?
Yeah.
Earl Palmer.
Earl Palmer. He's Philadelphia.
Yeah, I interviewed him for Rhythm magazine in the UK.
Oh, you did?
15 years ago now.
I mean, he had so many gold records.
Oh, forget it. Earl was such a.
I mean, I got a few, but man, he is like, you know, ridiculous.
Oh, Earl was the best.
It's like, you know who else? Lee Square, the bass player, the guy with the long beard.
Yeah, sure.
He played on 2,000 albums.
Oh my God. 2,000
albums. I mean, think about that.
That's a lot of neighboring rights.
And I played maybe 100 in my career. Hey, there's Vinny.
Hey, guys. Sorry I'm late here. Yeah.
Well, you're here. That's good.
I was putting up Christmas lights.
You look at you got the
Santa hat on.
You got the Santa hat on.
Yeah.
I'm going to do mine when I come back on the 10th.
What a pain in the ass. Ah.
Yeah.
Tom, I'm doing my show. I'll call you back.
I got to take out my plastic one with the plastic bulbs.
Yep.
The ones you get at the hardware store, you know.
Oh, yeah. I got to do the job.
Are you doing that? You got to be obviously doing a lot of traveling, and you're all around the world. And you think about the band, the Ramones, and you know, very few bands are actually ones that actually define a genre, like a whole era. You know, no matter if they're 12 years old today or 80 years old today, they wear these Ramones shirts proudly. And that's got to be really something when you walk into a room and people are just literally worshiping the Ramones to you.
Well, Johnny, Joey, Dee Dee, Tommy. Then I came along. You got to give credit where credit's due.
Right.
It never ends. I see it. I'm grateful for it. It's something, the excitement, the energy, the name. I don't know. I'm not going to analyze it because when you start doing that, then it's gone.
Yeah.
You know,
like I said, when I saw Marky, he gave my daughter a Ramones shirt because he remembered that she was a fan. So I sent her to. I said, I got a surprise for you, and she got it last Tuesday. And she called up. She said, "Dad, wow,
it's a big deal."
Clem was in the Ramones too.
I was briefly.
He was in the Ramones.
Yeah,
briefly in the Ramones. They did the right thing getting you back, though, Marky. That was the move. That was a smart move.
Really was.
Yeah.
And but you know, I was friends with Joey basically more than the others, and we all were all. I mean, CBGB. Talk about rock and roll high school. CBGB and Club 82. That was it. We were all relatively young back then, and it's just really amazing, like you're saying, about how the Ramones and a lot of the whole CBGB sound has had an amazing shelf life. I mean, Blondie, Talking Heads, Patti Smith. You know, people are still.
But that's interesting. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think, because it was a sound, obviously. Do you think CBGB?
Well, it was a collective sound.
Exactly.
It wasn't one sound.
Well, that's the thing. That's my question. Do you think CBGB's helped to develop that sound, and develop Ramones and some of the other bands at the time, or was it vice versa?
It was a place to play. It was our home. And the thing is that everybody was different, but everybody respected each other's style. So that was what was great. It was friendly competition.
And certainly with Blondie, we were influenced by the Ramones. We were influenced by television, and I think vice versa to a certain extent. It was a real musical melting pot because all the bands were different. That's the big difference between the UK punk scene and the New York punk scene.
Very different. I mean, if you look at Blondie in particular, such an influence of pop, of rap before rap was a thing, reggae. I mean, I know. Thank you very much for creating rap. Yeah, but really, if you look at the style of Blondie, and it was its way own thing. You got Ramones. You got even the Romantics that your Rhythmics that you were in. I mean, you were in all of them, by the way.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, me and Vinny missed CBGBs.
Now,
right,
you guys were in Vanilla Fudge.
I never been
Ed
there.
Sullivan show.
I never been there either.
Metal.
No, I mean,
metal.
Yeah.
It's pretty phenomenal. It's pretty phenomenal, the sound that came out of that club, you know, all the bands. It's
I remember I used to see
amazing.
it a lot, and you know, pictures of it. And
what about Gildersleeves? You ever go to Gildersleeves?
We played together. I played in Dust.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were with your band Cactus.
Yeah.
I think it might have been in Gano's or along, someplace in Long Island somewhere.
Yeah, maybe the Action House. The Action House, maybe.
The Action House, something like that.
Yeah. My manager owned that place. So.
Kenny Aronson.
Watching you, you know.
Kenny Aronson,
yeah.
Kenny Aronson on bass.
Did Dust play?
Richard Wise.
Richie
Wise.
Yeah.
Did Dust play at Carnegie Hall? Marky had a gig somewhere.
No, we played at Trinity.
I saw you guys somewhere.
Trinity Church was our first show, and then we played with Alice Cooper a few times. We were 18, 19 years old.
Right.
You know, and then Naive, 2 albums, and then Kenny and Richie produced the first 2 Kiss albums.
Right. And the first professional band I ever saw was the Vanilla Fudge, by the way.
Oh, really?
At Marist High School in Bayonne, New Jersey. You remember the gig?
No, but that's where Mark Stein is from there.
Well, yeah, that's where I'm from as well, yeah.
Ah, he didn't.
We used to rehearse, my high school band used to rehearse in the cafeteria there. The brother was, I don't know what his deal was. He was trying to manage our band, but we had the run of the place. I even managed, I was in the room with you guys. I came in with my Polaroid camera, took pictures of you guys. Yeah. Marist High School. Yeah.
No video cameras back then.
No,
that's
I had a Polaroid. Yeah.
I was thinking about that today. I was thinking about how it used to be, you know, cameras and video cameras.
Yeah.
Now everybody got their phone.
Right.
Flash bulbs.
Video cameras.
You know how hard it was to bring flash bulbs into a concert?
Yeah.
It would have taken. But if we had those cameras back then, that would have been great.
I'm getting Ron flash bulbs for Christmas.
I could use them. I got my 110 camera still. Absolutely. My Kodak.
Yeah. How about the old brownies?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, the brownies. Oh, my God. You don't mean the Girl Scouts.
Yeah, right.
Have you guys been to a show where they take your camera or your phone and they lock it in that sealed envelope? And
my camera, no. But fans,
the phones.
They would take the cameras.
I went to see Dave Chappelle at Radio City. When you go in, you have to give them your phone. They put it in a sealed envelope, and they give you a ticket on the way out. You get
that must be a mess going out.
And then you got to check you got to check the phone.
Yeah. Oh no, that wasn't it. No, they lock it in an envelope.
Oh, they lock it. Okay.
Yeah, and you have it. Then you give them. Yeah. Then they unlock.
A little weird.
Oh, you have it. They give it to you, but they lock it.
Yeah, right.
How do they lock it?
They've got some, science.
Probably a snap, one of those.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, see, there you go, Ron. A whole new thing.
Well, for you. I'm gonna do that. Screw it. Everybody just enjoy themselves.
You know who I was listening to recently? Stand-up album, Jethro Tull, Clive Bunker.
Yeah.
Clive's awesome.
Great drummer.
You know,
did I ever tell you the story of
he was
in Chicago?
Yeah.
What was that place? It was like the Fillmore in Chicago, Ron.
The Prince played.
That was Park West?
Yeah, no, not Park West. It was another.
The Vic Theater?
No, it was even worse.
The Aragon?
Yes, not even the Aragon. Whatever it was. It was Jethro Tull, the opening act, Led Zeppelin second.
The stadium. It had to be the amphitheater, the International Amphitheater.
No, it was 69. It was like a Fillmore kind of place.
Jeez.
I can't remember the name right now. Anyway, so when Clive went on, me and John Bonham would stand behind Clive and we watch him play. Ludwig brought all these stands for us to test, and they were trying to make heavy duty stuff. They gave us new pedals, speaking pedals, new Atlas stands. At the end of the night, we gave them all back broken. But the fun part was when Clive was on, me and Bonzo would stand behind Clive, and we threw spitballs at him. And then when Bonzo went on, me and Clive stood behind Bonzo and threw spitballs at him. And of course, when I went on, I got the spitballs too.
Of course.
It was hilarious. What a good time and what a great story to tell now. You know,
crazy.
It was such a great time, especially when we gave Ludwig all the stands back broken and the speaking pedals where the clips on the bass drum, they were broken. We said, sorry, guys, you got to do this better, you know.
You know, stand up A New Day Yesterday, that fill at the end he does is great. And Nothing Is Easy, he's playing in 6/4. And those fills he does at the end, it's great.
Which one
kind
is
of
it?
a Mitch Mitchell.
Nothing Is Easy. It's kind of like Manic Depression, but it's 6/4 time signature. Manic Depression is 3/4.
Right. 6/8. Wow. Manic Depression. Well, it is 3/4.
Yeah, but the stand-up album New Day Yesterday is 6/8.
Yeah. I used to love those guys, you know.
Yeah.
Great. Clive was a great drummer.
I know.
And he disappeared for a while, then he came back.
Yeah. He left.
Clem, I gotta ask you a quick a Blondie question though.
Sure.
I happened to work with you guys. You did a soundstage in Chicago a couple years ago.
Yeah, right.
And I was involved with that production. I worked with you guys, and I worked with Deborah a little bit there, and she was a little I don't even know what the word is. But the question here is, how much was she involved from the beginning in the development of the music and the style? Was she formed by the band, or did she do the forming?
Well, it was kind of a mutual, kind of cooperative thing. But Debbie, to me, I would put her, you know, when I was a kid, when I was looking to have other people to work with that would maybe help me become a success in the music business, let's say, my first thing, most importantly, was to find my Mick Jagger, my David Bowie, or my Mark Bolan. And when I met Debbie, she's that person. And I would really say she gets underestimated. Her talents are really on par with somebody like David's, believe it or not. I would really think that, truly. She is a great lyricist, mostly, and a conceptualist. And we all had a big part in forming the band back in the day. You know, it took a while. There was an evolution. I brought my high school friend, a guy called Gary Valentine, into the band for the first album. He wrote the first single that was released that kind of got our foot in the door. And then he decided he wanted to leave. And then I brought my other good friend, a guy called Frank Infante, in to play guitar. But it was a mutual cooperative situation. But of course, Debbie is she's a one-off. She's a superstar, you know.
Yes.
It's just her charisma. Mark knows, you know. Mark knows Debbie. You know.
When they played CB's, I would make sure that I'd get at least a front row, a second row seat, just to observe.
Yeah, it was.
She was gorgeous.
My gosh.
Yeah, that also, but just the whole band. I mean, she was hard to take. It
was Kinetic Playground.
Wow, that was way back. You're right, in the '60s. That's right.
Well, I always make Kinetic. I always make the analogy about CBGB. It was kind of a workshop for everyone. You can make your mistakes in public. As we know, the Ramones made many mistakes on stage in the early days.
That's what the Action House was in the 66, 67. You had Billy Joel with the Hassles. You had the Vagrants with Leslie West. Rich Kids with Richard Super. Vanilla Fudge. You had the Illusion. And everybody was building an audience there.
Right.
And you made mistakes, and you know that's where the testing grounds were.
Right, and that's the problem today. That's always pointed out. Everyone's in their bedroom,
yes,
you know, making their own music by themselves, and they're not really getting the experience of being on stage.
I'm actually in the living room.
Learning.
This is a living room of the guest house.
Right.
It's there. It's right there.
You know what? What I think? If you make a mistake, make the same mistake twice.
I agree 100%.
So
if I throw a stick up and miss it, I throw a stick up twice and miss it again.
You know?
Right, yeah.
That's great.
These are the behind-the-scenes secrets that people don't know about you guys.
What did Miles Davis said? There's no bad notes, right?
Yeah, very much.
What's that?
Jimmy Destry lived up the street from us.
Right, yeah, in Brooklyn, yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
On 41st Street. We lived on one block, the next block up, 41st Street.
Was Erasmus.
He was Jimmy Malika.
Jimmy Malika. Well, Mark Stein was going out with a girl on my street in Bayonne back when, Carmine.
Oh my God.
Yeah, funny.
So you guys are from what? Bay Ridge? You're from Bay Ridge?
No, Borough Park.
Borough Park. Yeah, that's what Jimmy was.
Hey,
from.
you know what Brooklyn and pantyhose have in common?
What?
Flatbush.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I went to high school, Erasmus.
Hey, somebody sent me a great text today. It said, for $25, I'll teach a kid how to play drums. I'll teach him how to read and everything else. For $500, I'll discourage him.
well, you know the Hal Blaine thing. Hal Blaine, his famous joke was, the mom goes, hey, my son wants to play drums. What should we do? You know what he says? Cut his hands off.
That is hysterical. Well, you're talking about Brooklyn. And drumming is important, I guess. But what's probably a little bit more important is pasta sauce. So when you talk about Brooklyn pasta sauce,
80,000 bottles sold.
He's got his own pasta sauce.
All right.
Too much.
80,000 bottles.
Too much hassle.
Really?
80,000 bottles sold?
80,000.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's, you're talking across the country.
Yeah.
Not just in Brooklyn.
I expected more. But
Are you still doing it?
the thing is that you had to hire more people. You hire more people. It's this, it's that, it's what's going on. Then you have the truck, and then you have this guy, that guy. It was too much.
Are you still doing it?
What's that?
Are you still doing it?
No. I got.
If you want to get the gravy off the shelf, you got to go with Rayo's. Rayo's has great stuff.
Yeah, we were number 2 below Rayo's.
Rayo's. Who's been to Rayo's?
Yeah,
I've been to Rayo's.
They made our sauce.
They did?
Nope.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
No, they do a good.
I did an in-store the other day in Buffalo, and they said, "You want something to drink?" I said, "What do you got?" I said, "Oh, we got some root beer." So they bring the root beer out. It was Gene Simmons root beer.
Yeah.
Well, they're the kings of all that. Yeah. They're the kings of merch.
Diet root beer. I think it was diet root beer. I said, I can't believe
well, you're probably using a Kiss toilet paper and Ace Frehley freaking tampons and everything else they got. I mean, it's incredible merchandising.
Yeah. Awesome.
And you talk about pieces. I got to ask Marky and Clem. I asked this question to a lot of guys on this show because one of the things that I cherish, Marky, you're not going to believe this. You played my place, and you signed your drum head to me. It's one of my treasured items. Yes, Clem, Marky, God forbid your place is on fire. What are you grabbing before you're running out of the house?
The house or the dressing room?
Okay, either one.
Dressing room?
I'll take my passport.
Oh, good point.
That's a good one.
What is your most valued piece of memorabilia with your historically career, your historic career? You've met everybody, you guys. You've worked with everybody. Is there something, a little gift, a little something that someone gave you that is really treasured to you? Mark? Tough question.
I got one of John Bonham's drumsticks.
Oh, wow.
That's a big deal.
It's used too.
People give me a lot of clippings from ads from the Village Voice, from CBGBs, but I've got some signed Earl Palmer signed stuff. I've got a snare drum that Earl signed for me, and
wow,
and things like that, and
it'd be hard for me. I'd have to take these bass drums.
I've got a kit like that too. I've got that Maple Ludwig kit, the John Bonham
but
kit.
Not 24 by 15.
I've got 26, not by 15.
I had the 26. I got rid of them.
In Dust, I used a 28-inch. In Dust, I used a 28-inch.
I remember that.
I remember 15, that too.
With a 15-12 top and two 20-inch floors.
Oh wow, that's kind of
cherry wood Ludwig. Cherry wood. Remember that? The cherry wood.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's a spin-off of the big kit that I got when I ordered the first big kit.
Nice. Very nice.
They said to me, "Are you sure about these sizes?" Because nobody ordered 26 from in 68.
They didn't make them like that.
Yeah.
No, they made my small tom up front was a 12 by 15 marching tenor drum, and they put legs on it. Leg holders. They thought it was going to be a floor tom.
Oh, right.
No, I should know what goes on a stand, you know.
Hey, you still have that bass
up.
drum? You still have that 28-inch bass drum?
No, and I wish I had the artwork on the head, but it's that's
hell yeah.
That was 71 to 70 to 72.
That was Dust, right? That was Dust?
Yeah, that was Dust.
Yeah, that was Dust. I remember that.
So, you know, well, Tommy gave me his drum set, Tommy Ramone. So that's one thing I was very happy
That had to be cool. Holy smokes.
What, the Rogers set?
Yeah, the white set.
Yeah, that's the original. Once they got a little bit of money, that's the kit he had, the Rogers.
The big R, not the little R one. Not the one. Yeah, two.
Later on, yeah, okay.
Yeah, later on, like late 77, around there.
Right.
You know, Clem, I thought it was really interesting. I mean, you know, we talk on this show every week about style. We talk about history. We talk about, you know, some little little tidbits of information. I thought it was really interesting that you participated. We're going to get scientific here now, guys. Right, yeah. Vinny, we're going to talk slowly. But really, no, this is no, this is a good one. No, this is Clem. Tell me a little bit about this 8-year study you did about drummer stamina with drummers.
Yeah, it's longer than that now.
Really?
Well, you guys all know. I mean, in order to play the drums, especially as we get a little bit older, you really got to have the physicality to be able to do it, and the sort of brain power as well, right? So I met this guy called Dr. Marcus Smith from a university in Chichester in England about a good 15 years ago. And we were playing Wembley Arena, and he came and met me, and he explained to me what he was trying to do. At the time, he was the Olympic boxing coach for the UK. He was trying to make the analogy between sport and drumming, basically. And when you think about a boxer in the ring, you can make that analogy. You know, you're playing a song, especially like with Mark with the Ramones. You're playing real fast, but then when you stop, what's your heart doing, right? You think about the boxer. He's boxing, and then he sits down, then he's back up. His heart's going like that. So basically, he wired me up, and after supposed to be a one-off, and after about 10 years, he developed a thesis, and it got published, and I got a honorary doctorate from the university. And we just did a thing. This wacky weatherman in the UK, this guy Owain, he just did a 24-hour drumming marathon, which we were a part of. The Clem Burke drumming project was a part of. They raised £3.5 million in 24 hours.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, I was only a small part of it, but it's ongoing. I'm kind of like the namesake of it now, but it's got a life of its own now, and it's still ongoing. But I'm sure you guys all the drummers know you gotta be
I mean, when
some
I'm
kind
doing
of physical shape. Otherwise,
when I'm doing a solo, I could feel my heart rate. You know, I said it's got to be up to like 130 at least.
Sure, that's
you know?
Then he would do the the blood oxygen at the end, prick my finger, and it's all really academic and kind of over and over and over. But it's interesting for some people.
That's crazy.
I got next drum
water technique.
I got to do video on the next
in
drum
the water where you could put your hands in the water and fight.
What's that?
You put your hands in the tub or a sink, you full, and then you go like that with your hands. It's like fighting the resistance in water.
Right.
You know, you're doing this, that, you know, in the tub, you're in the tub.
Yeah, I actually did hear about that, yeah.
You come out, and it's so much easier. It's like it's like starting off with a military drum chord stick that's twice the size of your regular stick. And then you go back to your regular stick, and it's so much easier. It's called water resistance something.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Do you do that before you play?
No.
You gotta have a bat.
Just in general, yeah.
Well, I thought maybe in the sink. I thought you do it in the sink in the dressing room.
A backstage bathtub. I got to get that for you.
I used to with the Ramones. We used to warm up to like 6, 7 songs.
Yeah, right. That's when I did those couple of shows. Yeah.
So you're familiar with that.
The funniest one is Pete Thomas.
Hey guys, real quick here. I'm sorry to interrupt. I got somebody wants to say hello to you guys. A good friend of ours.
What?
We got Carrot Top here at the Arcada tonight.
Oh my God.
going on,
everybody?
How are
Yeah,
you?
we finally got you on the show, bro.
We got Carmine Apiece, Vinny Appice, Marky Ramone, and Clem Burke from the Blondie.
All right, very cool, man. Awesome,
Hey,
awesome.
man.
How
You
are
know,
you?
Carrot he played my drums on the. He's a drummer too, you know.
Okay.
I'm not a drummer.
Everyone?
I'm not. Yeah, I can play. I'm not a drummer. I can play.
You're a
I can
drummer.
keep a beat,
Come on,
yeah.
we heard you play.
I did play with Elton John on Saturday night.
Wow.
Not this Saturday night. On Saturday. Saturday.
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah.
And they let me go up and bang on the drum. And literally, not a joke. Elton's like doing his thing, and he keeps looking back because he knows that someone's effing it up. And after the show, they all came back and said, Elton's like, who the hell's on drums? I said, Carrot Top. Okay.
It explains it.
So Paul Shortino would say hello if he was here.
Oh, yeah, I love Paul. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. He's doing us a big favor here. We've been wanting to get him on the show for a while, and I'm so excited that he's here tonight, and all you guys that be here.
Yeah, beautiful theater.
Thank you, brother. He's going to be on in just a couple minutes. It's really generous of you coming right before you go.
Oh, yeah, you're doing a show.
It was only seven flights of stairs.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He does a killer show. I mean, I've seen him so many times in Vegas. It's
right on.
Awesome
Sweet.
show. Good.
Come on, I was watching Gene Krupa on YouTube. He does this thing with the cowbell. You know that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You know that thing, like playing and goes,
Yeah.
Are you? Do you do that? You familiar with that?
No, I know. I've seen it. No, I've seen it.
I don't have a
Yeah, do
cowbell.
you know what it is? Do you know what he's doing there?
No, I
I'd
don't.
have to look at it again. But one of my favorite things is when he hits this accent, he does a spin here, and then he whacks the cymbal on this accent. So bam, bam, boom. I said, whoa, that is badass, man.
You know what? Real quick here, I know you got to run down, Scott, but real quick here, I know I just recently saw his show in Vegas about a month ago. Just an incredible, creative monstrosity mixture of stuff. How does that stuff come to you? Does it just come to you?
Yeah, honestly, I've got a few that I just came up with today just for here because it's Illinois. But yeah, it's kind of my job. I don't know. I kind of sit there and I think of something, and then sometimes it don't work either. But I try to think of one a day or something, and
Really?
It's like just like you guys when you write songs, you got to write jokes. So it's the same kind of thing.
Well, I want to know how does it work? Who's doing your show tonight at the Lexa?
Yeah, right. Blue Man Group. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
No, there's no one in there. The crew is probably waiting for me. They don't know I'm here.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, what the hell is all this stuff?
The fantasy girls are there tonight.
Yeah,
right.
Great.
Well, listen, I'll let you go, man. You got a show to go to.
Have
a good one, man.
Guys. Yeah, man. Really, honestly, thank you guys.
Have a good
Very
show.
talented. Thanks, buddy.
Good to see you.
Yes, man. Love it, man.
Come
Bye.
on, man.
Cheers.
Thanks so much, brother. Thank you. All right. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
That was a
How
good
cool is
surprise.
that?
That was a good surprise.
Yeah, I was trying to throw that at you. And actually, the guy, you know who else is here? The guys from Warrant are all here tonight because they're playing tomorrow night. So they came here having dinner by me now. So I'm trying to get them in here. Yeah, they're literally walked off a plane about 45 minutes ago. They should be here in a minute. If we get here before the show's over, they're going to say hi too. But anyway.
Hey, do we,
When's the last time you listened to Take 5 by Joe Morello?
Yeah.
You know, Table Back.
I don't know, but when it was out and everything, I listened to it religiously.
Yeah, me too.
I learned every note of the solo.
That's the only
Back in the
jazz
day.
record to be a hit, right? A #1, right?
Great.
Take
Columbia.
Five, the only
Yeah.
jazz- a pop hit,
Columbia. Yeah, Columbia. I think it was the first million-selling jazz album.
Jazz, right? Yeah.
And you know, the other day when I went
No
to see Jason Bonham was really funny because I never saw that Led Zeppelin thing, and honestly,
really?
I didn't know if it was going to be good or not. It was really good.
Oh yeah.
I went with Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden, and so we walk into backstage and we see Jason going up. He says hi, and then afterwards we come and see him. So he said, "The last thing I need to see is two guys like you coming to see my show." And I'm thinking, you know, Carmine's going to be counting the Carmine drum fills I do. And I said, so we went in the back and he's telling me, I said, no, I didn't count. Nico did.
That's funny.
So he said, how many? But anyway, he said on stage, he said, you know, my father's big influences were Buddy Rich, Gene Krupa, and Joe Morello. As far as the jazz guys. And Joe Morello was, you know, he was everybody's influence. And I was lucky. I got to know him really well. Remember that first time we met him, Vinny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
took Vinny to a Ludwig symposium, and I was replacing Joe, right?
Oh, wow.
And he did 3 days, and I was doing 3 days. I never met him before. He was my idol. We walk into into the thing the night before, he's smoking a cigarette and doing a one-hand roll with the other hand,
Right.
So Joe says, "Hey, come on, why don't you come up and take some fours?" I go, "I don't want to take no fours with Joe Morello." I'm going, no. Vinny's pulling up. Vinny's like 10 years old. He's pulling on my leg. Go ahead, Con. Get. I said, "You fucking go, Vinny."
I'm 10 years old.
I ended up doing it, and I sat down, and I looked to the right, and Joe Morello's on the drum. I swear to God, guys, my hands were shaking.
Yeah, I believe it.
Then he did a 4, and then I did like, and he tried to do it, and he couldn't do that. And I realized he couldn't do that. So every fill I did had that in it, And then we became friends. And everybody's a Vinny Appice, Carmine Appice. He straightened it out. He called me Apache.
Nice.
And I said to the symposium, "Hey, Apache, where are you?" That was a great guy.
Where do you think that choke? Did it come from Bernard Purdy on Rocksteady
Oh yeah,
originally?
definitely. Yes.
That's where it started.
King Curtis.
Right. Yeah, but it's Bernard.
Jazz.
Right? Probably the first.
Yeah.
Well, it's funk.
King Curtis
funk,
live,
really,
whatever that live show was.
Yeah, it's funky. Yeah.
Yeah,
I always think of that drum break in Rocksteady with the Rita.
Yeah.
When he does
Oh,
that,
yeah.
it comes out of that.
Yeah.
You got to know Purdy, right? You guys?
I haven't. No, I just got a Bernard Purdy solo record when I
Beautiful
was in
guy.
Austin. Oh yeah,
Beautiful guy. Beautiful.
but he
guy.
didn't play on the
Great guy.
Beatles records, though.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
He didn't play on
Clem.
the Beatles records.
Clem, who played
On which record? Hold on,
Well,
Marky,
didn't Bernard claim he played on like Beatles?
Yeah,
records?
2 Beatles songs.
Well, that's what they say, but I don't know if it's true.
I think the first 2 singles Ringo didn't play on them. I think it
No,
was
it was
Alan White.
It was Alan White. Yeah, it was Alan White.
Alan White.
Really? Which songs?
Love Me Do.
Love Me Do.
And
wow.
maybe
I
whatever the
didn't
B
know
side.
that.
Yeah, and Ringo played tambourine.
Yeah, he
yeah.
kept like the meter or something. But
Yeah.
Alan White played on Imagine. He's on Imagine.
That's a different Alan White.
No,
That's a different Alan White.
yeah, that was John Lennon's. He was one of his solo albums.
Alan White
Yeah.
from Yes played on Imagine. The drummer.
Right.
From
So
Yes.
who's the other Alan
Who's
White?
the other Alan White?
The guy, the session guy? What was the guy's name that played on Love Me Do, Mark?
Who?
The guy that played on.
Oh, you know what I wanted to ask you? Who played on the Dusty Springfield songs?
Oh, well, Roger Hawkins played on Dusty in Memphis, which is an amazing album.
It wasn't
Well, Clem Catini probably played on the stuff in the UK. Yeah.
Wow.
Played
Those
on
are two
everything.
guys, Bobby Graham and.
You guys are going over my head with this stuff.
Wow,
I don't
this
know.
is serious
Great
stuff.
stuff.
Encyclopedia.
Well, there's the equivalent. Clem Catini and Bobby Graham were the equivalent of Hal and Earl in the UK in the 60s, basically, right? Yeah.
All right. What about the guys at Motown?
Right.
Yeah. Guys at Motown.
Funk Brother guys.
Right.
The Funk Brothers.
Funk Brothers.
Right.
But talk about Beatles here, and it's an interesting thing that I don't know that I even knew this, and I don't know if a lot of people do know. But you talk about what was one of the biggest influences that the Beatles had on the Ramones, aside musically, yes or no, but the fact that the name came from Paul's used to be called Paul Ramone, and when he checked in a hotel,
right?
And so they got it from
the
that.
hotels because he didn't want to be disturbed, so he would use the name Paul Ramone. I don't understand why he wouldn't change the name Paul too.
Yeah,
but,
right.
That's how we got the name, supposedly. I think that's a fact, but probably. I heard another thing. They threw a dart at a phone book, and that story. You know what I mean?
That's the Bay City Rollers did that. That's what the Bay City Rollers did.
But it was the chord changes. It just was. 4 of them looked like a unit.
Yeah,
and they were into that.
And they thought people thought they were all related, which they weren't, of course.
All related.
But they thought
we weren't brothers. There was no brothers. But everything is relative.
That's like me and Vinny.
Yeah, right. They're not really related.
Good.
Well, actually, I've got a really great shirt. Mark, you may or may not have seen that. Somebody gave me a shirt. Beatles, John, Paul, George, and Ringo, but it looks like a Ramone shirt. Have you seen that shirt, Mark? Have you seen it?
I think I did.
It's pretty cool.
But,
Beatles across the top and John, Paul, George, and Ringo. But it looks like Ramones show.
Where can I get one?
I'm gonna get you one.
They're available. Go online. I bet you can find it very easily.
I got to check that out.
Yeah, but Marky, when you got you talk about this historic stuff, and obviously, as you said earlier, you came along a little bit later than the original guys who started the band, but you were still treated like part of the family. Rock and Roll High School, you're part of that movie, iconic film. As I know. I mean, it is. I mean, it's.
But he was even before that. He was playing with Wayne County. What was the
Richard
version
Hell.
of Backstreet Boys, right? Wayne County and the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
I remember Wayne County. Yeah.
Sure.
The thing
I
is,
remember Wayne County too.
Yeah.
ask me if I remember making that movie.
You remember making that movie?
I remember making it.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Getting up
But
6 in the morning, having to be, at the scene. You got to do a scene. You got to wait for hours. Then they call you. Then it's only 10 minutes. Then you go back to the hotel. You start goofing around.
Well, that's what the drugs and alcohol is for.
I know, right?
What was that?
I said that's what the drugs and alcohol are for, right? To kill
While I
the
was
time.
drinking, Dee was doing the drugs.
Right.
So that kind of started kicking in.
Right.
But, it was interesting. But
That's a real problem, the free time. What do you do with your free time?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But you talk about again being part of it.
At the proper Canada, the same time we were.
Sure. Yeah.
I
That's
remember
right.
us throwing Chris into the swimming pool.
Oh, really? I wasn't there for that, but that sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Well, that's it. You came along a little bit later, but you were so part of the fabric, the Ramones fabric, to the point where you were even inducted in Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I was actually there that night, your induction, and I saw. I mean, what Green Day did with Blitzkrieg Bop is one of my favorite things. What'd you say?
I thanked Tommy that night.
Yes, you did. You did.
Yeah. Sure.
As well you should, but you're still part of that whole thing. And my question is, obviously that whole thing that happened in the late 60s, early 70s, you came a little bit later. How much of that real early stuff did you feel as you came into the band? Because they were out there when they first started, that's for sure.
Well, they played CBGBs. They did 3 albums, and they were tighter. In the beginning, they weren't tight. They were honing their skills. But the thing was, later on, when I joined, they wanted to do The Road to Ruin was more of an advanced Ramones. Rocket to Russia, all the others were basically 3 good chords. The Road to Ruin was a little more. So me and Tommy would discuss certain drum parts. Just wanted me to play heavier. That's heavier than he did. That's all it really was. Sure.
Now let's talk about Clem. What do you guys got coming up? What you working on?
Well, I just did a recording with, of all people, Ann Margaret and Mickey Gilly. I think I might have mentioned that. Cover
on the same album, on the same recording.
Yeah, Ann Margaret's doing an album. I did a couple of tracks on it, and
wow.
I've got this gig on Saturday at Club Avalon in Catskill, New York, with a band called the Split Squad. I've been recording with Shel Talmy actually a bit, who famously produced The Who and the Kinks.
Shel Talmy?
Yeah, I did some stuff with Shel. Oh, it's a band. Well, I did a single with this guy Vince Mulaney, who was the guitarist in the Bee Gees during the whole 60s era of the Bee Gees, and we did a cover of an Easy Beat song, and Shel produced that. And I did a couple other things with this band called Strangers in a Strange Land that Shel produced. But basically, we're working on a Blondie record. There's loads of demos. We still have our deal with BMG. And our tour, we were doing a UK arena tour that was scheduled for just about now. We postponed it for the second time. Now it's going to be April, May. We have Johnny Marr, famously from the Smiths, amongst many other things. He just did the James Bond theme. We have him as our special guest on the tour. And then there's this big festival in LA called Cruel World, which is it's kind of like the demographic is for, it's not like old cello with the Beatles, and I'm not the Beatles, the Stones and Neil Young, that thing. And this is all kind of bands of kind of like our era with this band called Bauhaus, Echo in the. I just did There's a band called Echo and the Bunnymen you've probably heard of. I just did their record, which never came out yet because of COVID. But the main focus is we're trying to do a new Blondie record right now.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How about you, Marky? Is Blitzkrieg happening?
What's that?
How about you, Marky? Is Blitzkrieg going to be out?
Yeah, we're going to tour when it's the right time. But I'm concentrating on my radio shows because now I got 2.
Oh, really?
I got signed again. So I got one that's 24/7 and one that's once a week or with the rerun. But you see, I got to stay on top of it. I'll tell you why. You don't want to have repeats. A lot of things are repeated. So that's why I concentrate and see what me and my producer are going through to make sure that it's not the same show as like 3 weeks before that. So you got to be careful because you just don't want to keep playing the same old stuff. So if you have a show 24/7, which is 14 years of shows that accumulated that I did, so I had to listen to that too to make sure that back then I didn't, because I wasn't as I didn't have the attention back then as I do now of knowing that hey, that was repeated. I shouldn't repeat that stuff. So you got to really dig deep for things, new things, older things, B-sides, live stuff, even demos that are good, that are playable on the air of newer bands too. I want to give newer bands a chance too to be heard.
Absolutely. Well, the cool thing is that, Ramones music never goes out of style. It's an interesting fact too that just recently, and correct me if I'm wrong, 38 years after your initial album or the Ramones' initial album, it just went gold, which is something that keeps selling, selling.
It went platinum.
They're bigger than ever. The Ramones are bigger than ever now.
It's crazy. It really is.
Yeah.
Well, really want to thank you guys, man.
I was just going to say, we just had an anniversary. Our first record came out our first album came out with Blondie came out in December '76. So it's 45 years ago. This December. That's unbelievable.
Nice.
Congratulations.
I look pretty good for 85, right?
Still here.
Yeah.
Well, and here's to another 45 years because I know Deborah's still going to look good. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, we're doing.
I read this thing that we're considered athletes.
Oh, that's the whole thing about my drumming
We're
project.
considered athletes.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You should be, man.
Carmine's the master of that physical drumming. It's like amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and I watched
55 years. Next year, 55 years.
Wow.
The other night,
our album came out.
Oh, wow.
And my drum, next year, my drum book will be 50 years old.
Oh,
that's crazy, man. That's
Unreal.
crazy.
you
guys, we really, yes,
was that
yes,
67? Yeah, that was 44 years ago, 54 years ago.
And we're still in business.
Great.
That's crazy. God bless all you guys. On behalf of the fans out here, Vinny and Carmine, Clem and Marky, of course, thank you so much for giving us so much enjoyment.
It's almost an hour. It feels like it just started.
Yeah. Well, you guys got to come back.
Who do we have next week? Do you know?
I'm going to show that in just a second. We do have a commercial. We're going to do it on our out, but I just want to really thank Clem. You guys are true rock stars. Marky, of course. Thank you very much.
Love you all.
Thank you, guys.
Nice shirt, by the way. Nice shirt.
Thank you.
I'm going to message you. Clem, I'm going to message you too about something, all right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, keep in touch.
Vinny,
as the one guy who's not going to get messaged tonight, I want to thank everybody here on Hangin' and Bangin'. As we hear every Thursday night, Artists on Lockdown, Hangin' and Bangin'. We're in our second season. We're rocking it like crazy. Thank you all for all the support you've been giving us. Don't forget to see us here every Thursday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, and 4 o'clock Pacific. Until next week, we're going to show you who's coming up next week. But until then, keep hanging, keep banging. Love you, and stay strong. We'll see you next week.
Hey, it's Carmine here for Hangin' and Bangin'. December 9th, we've got a really cool show. 2 New York guys. JJ French from Twisted Sisters got a new book out. And Joey D from Joey D and the Starlighters, Peppermint Twist from way back. I used to go see Joey play, and I used to see JJ French play in Long Island with Twisted Sister. So this is going to be a good show. So that's December 9th, Hanging and Banging, Artists on Lockdown, Facebook, and at 7 o'clock Eastern and 6 o'clock Central and 4 o'clock on the West Coast. Okay, and also on Comment a Piece official Facebook and Vinny Appice Facebook. So check it out. I think you'll dig it. I know I'm going to have a good time. So here we go. December 9th, 7 p.m. Let's rock. JJ French, Joey D, Joey Steve, the Starlighters, and of course, you know JJ from Twisted Sister. So see you then, okay? Ciao.